And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking Kevin Magnussen gone from the Haas team. So we are asking, what next for K-Mag and what next for Haas? So pretty much breaking today, Kevin Magnussen and the Haas team have officially announced they're going to part ways at the end of this year, at the end of 2024, bringing to an end the duo's 7-year run with a bit of a break in the middle, let's say. But Magnussen, he first joined Haas 2017 to 2020, and then he rejoined again after at the end of 2021. Well, not at the end of 2021, but before the 2022 season due to the issues with Ukraine and Mazepin. So it's clear that Kevin Magnussen's contract in 2024 was potentially in doubt. A big question mark. We had a shake-up at Haas, and let's be honest, out the two drivers, K-Mag and Hulkenberg, Haas would have very much liked to have kept Hulkenberg. He is off to Audi. But now the Danish driver has also been confirmed that he's departing the team. Komatsu, the team principal of the fully named team of MoneyGram Haas F1. He said, "I'd like to thank Kevin for everything he's given us as a team, both on and off track. He's truly a bedrock of our driver lineup over the years. Nobody's driven more races for us, and we've some memorable highlights together, not least a remarkable 5th place at the Bahrain Grand Prix in 2022, when Kevin returned to start his second spell with the team. He wasn't expecting to be driving in Formula 1 that weekend, but he put a remarkable performance, absolutely he did. That was a tremendous boost to the entire organisation, and once again, showcased his own talents behind the wheel." And he continued, Komatsu, loving Kevin Magnussen. "There's plenty of racing to go this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can achieve with Kevin as we push together in the championship." Okay, if you liked him that much, why did you get rid of him? But I guess maybe they've got better drivers down the road for 2025, and we'll get into that in a second. But he said, beyond that, and with Kevin's special relationship with the team, I'm hoping we can find a way to keep working together in some capacity, which is nice. We can hopefully define that in the near future, but his extensive experience in Formula 1 and knowledge of our working operations are undoubtedly of value in our ongoing growth and development. PR speak there. Magnussen, though, he came out and said, "I'd like to extend my thanks to everyone at MoneyGram Haas. I'm proud to have raced for such a great team of people these last few years. In particular, I'd like to thank Gene Haas for his commitment to me, notably in bringing me back again in 2022, when I thought at the time, at least, my time in Formula 1 has ended. I've enjoyed some great moments with the team I'll never forget. Whilst I'm looking forward to the next chapter, I remain fully focused, basically, for the rest of 2024. So I'm not surprised that Kevin Magnussen's leaving, but Haas, at the time of recording this, the 18th of July, they haven't secured another driver. And if you remember, Kevin Magnussen also scored their first ever pole position at the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2022, which was, fairly significant. So what are Kevin Magnussen's next things? As we know, he is going. A lot of people would say IndyCar. I think that's potentially where he was at IndyCar, wasn't it? Potentially where he was going in at the beginning of 2022. So he knows, though, unlike toward the end of 2020, where I think they waited quite a long time to announce he's not going to be there, he knows he's going to be departing the team, and he's kind of got a lot more of the season remaining, half a season. This is going to boost his chances of where he wants to go elsewhere. So he's been dropped by Haas for the second time, sadly. It's difficult to see a Formula 1 team that's going to want him unless it's one of those situations where it's kind of by default. Magnussen feels he's in a better position, though, compared to 4 years ago. And Haas was entering a rebuilding phase while owner Gene Haas rode back from being close to ending the F1 project during the early part of the pandemic, which meant Magnussen and Grosjean were left kind of with uncertain futures. Grosjean, though, as we know, he's since left to go to IndyCar. And Kevin himself said, "It's a lot better to have clarity early on, but at the moment, I just know I'm going to be racing here for the next year." Magnussen also represents himself in trying to secure seats. Now he's got 3 options available as he enters what is being described as his 5th phase in motorsport career. His first F1 stint was with, as we know, McLaren. Then he went to Renault, and then he went to Haas, and then he went back to Haas. That's the thing, then. Where can he go? We know their seats at Mercedes, very unlikely. RB, unlikely. Alpine, maybe go back to Renault. Williams, probably not. Sauber, I don't think so. They want a headline driver. They still want sides. And Esteban Ocon, though, is expected to sign a final contract to replace Magnussen at Haas, which is, I think, in terms of skill, is an uptick, is potentially a plus. And lots of people are talking about Ocon, though, and whether he's gonna make issues for Ollie Behrman. I don't think he will. I think, yes, we look at Ocon and all the problems he's had with teammates in the past. But I think the issue with Ocon and Gasly, they don't like each other. Ocon and Perez, sometimes that was just as much Perez's fault as it was Ocon's. So he could remain with Haas as a test driver. Would he really want to? Would Haas go into other racing for Kevin? Potentially as well. So I think Alpine may well be the most obvious one. Could he end up at Sauber Audi for a year? Maybe while Sauber decide what to do. He's not a bad driver. We know he can do good. I mean, this guy got a pole position. We know he can race well. He scored points. But Kevin himself has said he doesn't see himself ending his racing career anytime too soon. He does love sports cars and racing at Le Mans. I think he's done it with his father. Plus, the hypercar category is expanding. For example, Hyundai want to get into the hypercar category. There's an opening there. But as Magnussen said, F1 is the pinnacle of motorsport, so he would really want to stay there. But I reckon he can be more successful leaving Formula One, either in the hypercar category or even in IndyCar. I think he could be super successful in IndyCar. It wouldn't surprise me if he was going to IndyCar next year, him winning his first race, if he had a half decent team. Absolutely. But then what does it mean for Haas, though? I mean, Ocon, yes, is, let's be honest, the most likely is going to be Esteban. It's going to be Esteban Ocon. Who else could you put in there? Valtteri Bottas, another person in there. You could make a case that Bottas would be a better teammate to Ollie Behrman. He's a known quantity as such because he's raced against Lewis Hamilton. He's more experienced than Ocon in a top team. If you think Ocon's going to cause more problems, Zhou, you could have Zhou in Haas. He would bring potentially a new market at Haas. Once again, though, not really much of a guarantee of success. So, in terms of getting points, which is obviously probably the most important thing for Haas, you got to go with Esteban Ocon, if I'm honest. But anyway, there's my ramblings done. K-Mag is leaving Haas for at the end of 2024. That much is absolutely sure. We will speak to you soon. If you want to give us a like and a subscribe, that'll be brilliant. We will probably be back talking about FP1 and FP2 late tomorrow as we go into qualifying and what is expected to be a really hot weekend. Speak to you soon.